Hello and welcome to this tutorial video on my modpack Steller. Today we are gonna be talking about the lore small bit. Today we are gonna be talking about starting item, a bit of lore, and what you need to do to get started with story and all of the quest in it. So without further ado, let's get it started. So what items do you start with in this modpack? You start with a lot of things, almost half of your inventory when you start modpack. So let's start from here. So these are the armors that you start with. Over here you have copper boots, copper leggings, you have a copper jetpack, you have a copper helmet, and a last filling tank. So let's talk about them. These three are the standard copper armor, and here you have copper jetpack. So why do you have this mostly OP things from start? Why can you fly from start? Well, that kind of ties to the story, which we will talk about in a bit, but let's just say that important in the smart pack. And what this is this is kind of a separate tank and carry to put fuel in the jetpack. The jetpack, it looks like this, uses water as its fuel, so you can pull water in the filling tank. So it has a space for 32,000, so two full refills. It can do two full refills for the copper jetpack, so you can carry this around, and for a bit of time you don't have to worry about the fuel being empty. So now here we have our guidebook. So this guidebook has two things currently, because I don't want to give out everything. I want people to discover some things and then get an answer. So here we talk about environment, and over here it's kind of like a small guide. So in environment there is food, there is temperature, and then there is water. Let's see about food. It talks a bit about food and a new system called food spoil. So in this mod pack, food actually spoils, but we will talk about that a bit. You can pause the video and read a bit about it if you want to know about it in detail. Now this temperature, yes, this mod pack has temperature. To know, you can just see this, the thing in the middle. So it shows the temperature going up and down. See, as you can see it, and it is related to the height that you are in the world, as well as which biome you are in. Those two things affect your temperature, so you kind of have to be careful about it when you're playing this mod pack. So you can pause the video and read a bit about it over here as well. And now finally to water, because as you can see over here you also have water in the system. So there is a lot of survival aspect. So there is a lot of survival aspect in this mod pack, and again you can pause and read this over here. Now we go to start here. So here we talk about the bosses in this mod pack, how food and cooking is done, some important links that you can use, a message from me, the quests that are in this mod pack, items that you start with, and different weapons and tools that you can craft. So you can read all those by yourself, because it's kind of internal. It is a bit big, so this will not be discussed over here, but you can read them by yourself in here. Now we move on to the quest book. So this shows us quest, which you can also click on here. So this isn't really that important. We are gonna use this icon to talk about quest, but the quest will come later, not now. Now we have 5 things over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what these things are, these are our mod pack's currency. The lowest being spur, then bevel, sprocket, cog, and finally sun. So these are the economic currency of this modpack. Now talking about a bit of lore which ties these things and the armor we get. According to the lore, we are cyborg. We aren't fully humans, we are cyborg. That's why we have onboard screens. We have an inventory which shows our health, all of our attributes, things like that. So most part of our body is cyborg. Now what's the issue with being that? Why are we here? Why are we from different planet? Why are we in this planet? Well, according to the lore, some people have started to cyborg themselves to the point where they don't have human parts left. One mad scientist turned himself fully into a cyborg. Then his onboard AI, which shows all of our HUD, all of our inventory, all of our crafting areas, everything, took control of him and released a AI virus, computer virus, which infected most of the cyborg living in our planet, turning them into zombies who tried to infect non-cyborg people. Our government tries to fight them and was one of the best member in the military to scour different planets and find a suitable one for us to settle all of our colonies. So all of the non-cyborg people are being sent from that planet to the one we are in. That is basically how lore goes, which explains why you have the inventory system, why you have the HUD in display for your food, water, temperature and health needs. And this is the currency that is used in our planet. You can also read about it more when you land on the planet, and our captains tells us everything. So what is the significance of these? So these will come in handy when we are near the end of this explanation. Now with the money, we also start with some gear. So these gear are basically at obsidian mining level. I don't know if it is exactly diamond or if it is less than, but it is more than iron but less than diamond. They sit in the middle of that. So we start with a pickaxe, a shovel, a sword and an axe. Again, you start with all of these because you are the best soldier sent here with best success chance to build the colony. That's why you are equipped with a lot of items which will help you settle the colonies. Now after these items, you also spawn with a backpack which has the equivalent size of your inventory. You start with 5 water bottles because you need to drink and your water goes down fast, 5 bread, and then finally the most important pack. Warning, never ever lose this block, because if you do, you can essentially just remake a new world, because without this the pack is just done. So make sure to be very careful and never lose this thing, as you will receive heavy penalty. Now what exactly is this block? So this is called a transmutation table. Now before talking about this, you will see that a lot of these items have an EMC value. So people who have previously used Project E, they should know all about it, but I'm talking about people who haven't used Project E. So if people who have, you can skip this part of the video. Alright, so what exactly is EMC? So EMC is the raw value of each item. Each item has a value assigned to it. As you can see here, transmutation table has 180,372. So hopper may have 1000, the start screen may have 24, this ritual thing may have 17, this may have 1. Each thing has a different EMC value. So what do I use the EMC for? What is it useful for? Why is it showing? Well, this table is very useful. So you put things which have EMC, right? So you mine things, grind things and put them here. That increases the total amount of EMC, and from this table you can pull out things which have EMC. So let's say just this hopper, right? So if you take hopper from here, hopper just has an EMC value of 1344, right? So we put one hopper. All right, so we only had one hopper that we put here, right? We haven't put on 2, we haven't put on 3, but now if I want, I can pull more hopper. See, and why is that? I only put one hopper, why could I pull 3? Because it is counted as an EMC. So each thing has an EMC value, and until your EMC is completed, you can keep pulling that one. So it will keep minusing its EMC value and keep letting you pull things. This is how you don't really have to keep mining. You really don't have to keep going far to get things which have EMC value, because this thing makes it one of the core things that you are meant to do in this mod pack is increase your EMC as much as possible. So get it as high as you can. That is one thing. And second is to have a thriving colony. Those two are the main quest that you will do. Those two are the main objective for you to play this pack. Now, saying that they are the main objective, I didn't want people to be forced. So this mod pack doesn't force you to do anything. You are free to do your own thing. Let's say if you want to explore, you can do that. Let's say if you just want to mine, you can do that. Let's say if you want to create the factories, you can do that. You don't really have to do the main quest. You can do them and complete the pack, but you aren't required to do them. You aren't required to do them. You can do your own thing, right? So we talked about our quest, our objective. Now, how exactly do we track them? Well, we use this, or we can also use this book to open quest menu over here. So this is our quest menu. Here is where we start looking at all of the quests that this mod pack has. Over here is starting out page, where it talks about all of the things that are in the pack, all of the things that you can get, and structures and different dimensions that you can go to. You can read more in this one, but for now let's move to second one. Here is mine colonies. So if you are new to mine colonies, if you barely know about it, if you haven't used it, you can go to here and slowly learn about it. Now I say this is a quest, but this is kind of like a tutorial. You are meant to slowly learn and use all of the things in here. Learn about things from here. You aren't meant to speed run this, because mine colonies is a very lengthy mod. You wait a long time, you build a lot of things, you find a lot of things, you give them a lot of things, so stuff like that. Mine colonies isn't meant to be rushed. Over here are project E again. So this is why you need a lot of EMC. When you get this, the final star, you essentially complete the mod, or you have to run this mod pack for 200 days, which gives you a completion key to complete the mod pack. So you can play after that, but the story ends. So you only have 200 days to complete all of your. You aren't forced to, but if you want to play role play, then you have 200 days. Here are some quality of life mods that are in the pack that you can use, and then finally boss fight. So if you don't want to make your colonies and stuff like that, you can also fight bosses. The bosses are buffed and they use a lot of attacks. They are very hard. They are past netherite, So even with netherite armor, you really can't beat any of them. Most of them are very hard. You need other stuff to help you. Enchanted gears, netherite gear, potions, everything is needed. So killing boss gives you reward, because according to lore, the command wants you to make this place safe. So they give you EXP levels, they give you some loot, and they also give you reward money. Each boss can be killed non-stop, so it's a repeatable quest. You don't have to kill it just once and leave it. You can keep doing that if you want. So you can turn this into your EMC farm if you want, but you have to be very prepared to fight each and every boss. Then there are command tasks. These things open up after 10 days. So only after you have played the mod in game for 10 days, only then you can start doing this. So what exactly are command tasks? So command tasks are the tasks that are sent to you by your commander. So these are the things that are requested by the commander for you to send, and when you send them, you get money. So let's say 130 lithium ingot gets you 1.3 million and at least one of the loot over here. Same way, 1000 gold seeds gives you 2.1 million and one of the loot in over here. So this is also one way that you can farm EMC. So this is with power, and all of these are with ingots and seeds. And over here are some boss loots. So killing each boss, most of the boss from Cataclysm, you get their ingot. So you can sell this back to your home planet for them to research, and they keep you money along with root reward. And what are the things over here? So these are the artifacts that you can find in any loot chest, in dungeons, maybe in the caves, and in villages. You can find any of this in those, and you can sell them back to your planet to command to get a lot of money. Then there are logistics. So these are the supply item from one place to another. And then there is tech. So here are the two tech mods that are in this mod pack. And then here is another way to make money, which is mob hunting. So you can kill mob, making the planet more safe and getting money from the command. These can be modded mobs, or this can be just vanilla mobs. May it be nether, may it be end, or may it just be pillagers. You can kill most of the things which normally spawn to get money. And then finally there is this. So this is the create quest tab. As you can see, most of these are locked. So why are they locked? So in this pack, a lot of mods are locked, and there is a reason for that, because a lot of mods are overpowering. So create locks itself in 5 ages. So the first is the andesite age, the second is iron age, third is copper age, fourth is brass age, and fifth is the netherite age. So in each age, if you want to unlock the tech for that age, you have to send command this much things, and they send you the blueprint. So they send to your onboard computer the blueprints to build these things, and you can build these things. So it also ties to the lore, as your onboard AI handles a lot of things. So for first you need 100 andesite alloy, for second age you need 200 iron seed, for third age you need 300 copper seeds, for fourth age you need 400 brass seeds, and for fifth age you need 5 brass cubes, which are pretty easy to make once you have netherite. Alright, now why would I want to open them? Well, once you open them, you have the capability to build large factories. You can build factories using the create mod, but if you do not want to play with create mod, you can't. Actually, this is the only mod which is forced onto you. You kind of have to interact with it if you want to finish the final stage, because a lot of blocks and items are used in other mods crafting recipes to build them. So the faster you can get them, the better. And then finally there is power. These are the mods with which we get power. So 1 2 3 4 mods. And then there is also our second tech mod, thermal. This again is locked just like create. So over here it is locked by this 100 redstone flux, which locks all of your useful blocks. Then for 100 signum ingots, it locks all of your power producing things. Then there is lumium ingot, which locks all of your processing blocks. Then enderium ingot, which locks all of your useful items. Apatite, which locks all of your armor. And 100 cinnabar, which locks all of your bombs. Lead, which locks all of your transport. And silver, which locks all of your storage. So you need all those respective materials. You need to send to command to unlock the blueprints for all of those. Now we also have some magic in here. Now you cannot access magic from the start. You aren't meant to access magic from the start. You have to find specific thing for you to be able to access magic and use it, because our Snobu is very powerful. So you are given access to it by start. Now I won't tell which item you need to find to start it, but you can find it in the wild. Very hard to find, but once you do, after 1 or 2 days, you still get access to magic. Now I talked a lot about sending things to the command, Now how do you send them? You don't send them through your inventory. It doesn't work that way. You send them your items or your payment through a task screen. So this is a task screen. Here is the recipe for it. It's pretty easy. So what you do is you put anything that can transport items. May it be like pipes if there is liquid in this, may it be like hopper for inputting items, may it be like, you know, item pipes to put item on it. Anything can work on any side except the facing blocks. So this it cannot import, but any other side you can put item inputs from there. So what you do and how you send is you select tasks over here like this, say 100 andesite alloy, you click on these, and now it shows what you need to put, and you can put it from here. See, now if I go over here and type andesite and 64, this is not 64, this needs to be 36, 35, 36, and then you put things over here and it transferred it over here. Now sometimes you may forget what you're doing. You can also pin whatever recipe you are doing, whatever quest you're doing. You can also pin that. So let's go to create, and we are doing this, and I can pin it, and I can see it over here which quest I'm actively doing. You can pin all of the quest if you want, or you can pin individually. We got 100, and you unlocked all of the things in over here. See, none of them are locked. Now talking about payment, what will you use the money or EMC for? Again, you can duplicate EMC, but what exactly is money for? Well, that is also in the quest tab. Now after magic, you'll see there is shop. So what exactly do you shop from here? So one, you can shop for blueprints. And what exactly are blueprints? So blueprints are locked mods which you can open fully by paying money. There is no other way for you to open it unless you pay this much money to the command, and they will give you access to these recipes. You do not start with them on default. So let's say for protection you need 416, and when you send them to task screen you get the whole pack. So this way we have reactors, we have enchantment, we have electricity, we have fluids, gadgets, cannons, flux, design, extra things, and raid. So all of these things, all of these mods need to be purchased, and each cost a lot. That's why you need to build some kind of factory if you want to unlock them. So you need some kind of factory to make all of EMC. So this comes as the last mod. So this mod ends at 200 days. Right? So the full patch will be played in 200 days. The world won't destroy itself, but that is much time is given, and after that from your captain, so you'll say his final goodbyes. What else can you buy in that one? And you can buy what else can you buy? Now you can also buy food so that you don't run out. These money, all of the money things is so that they all have an EMC value, and pulling them out you can purchase things. And so if you spawn in, let's say, desert or area, you can use the money to buy things. Now, unlike Blueprint, there's a time limit. And to be here, so you have to pay 5 sprockets for 1 bread, and you have to wait 15 seconds for you to be able to spam, because it takes time for the command to send items to you. To buy water, you need 1 pebble, and for salt, you need 2 grams. Salt is expensive. You can see the EMC value. You can also buy potions. So these are heat immunity and cold immunity. So if you are in any extreme temperature, then you can buy these things. Again, they also have, and both of them cost 15. Okay. And then finally, this is the item shop. This is where you can buy transcribers. So if you are playing with your friends, you can have walkie-talkie talking with each other, and so healing item like can't heal yourself. Now you have a its own health, and same different effect when it's broken. So if your arm loses full health, you can't use that arm. If your leg loses full health, then you have slowness. If your head loses all health and you can't see anything, you'll be affected. And so things like that, for which you need things like plaster and other healing items by things like strings. So these are things that you can sew in your armor to make them resistant to climate. And then you have flux dust, which is used to weapons for power. It is pretty expensive. So I think that will be all for this videos, as we have discovered every starting aspect of this mod pack. So if you like, then please hit a like, hit a subscribe, and thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.